Hi everybody, Rax here, and welcome back to Let's Play Railway Empire. Today we're going to be continuing on with our campaign to Chapter 2, The Early Days. This is starting in 1830. Looks like we're going to be helping revive the prosperity of the industrial centers on the East Coast, where we're going to build we're building our first railway empire, and all tracks are going to go further west to the Great Lakes. That sounds really fun. Let's go ahead and get started. So the rail network here, now we have some options. We can be either realistic or easy. Easy means we don't need to build the sidings. Realistic means we do. I kind of like having to build those sidings, so we're going to carry on with that, and we're going to stick with the normal pause mode.
Sometimes I think about giving everything up and dedicating my life to poetry. How about you?
Doesn't look like we can choose a different character to play as yet, but we're still going to go ahead and get the 5% higher freight prices, which is going to be good. And let's load that up. Baltimore, 1830. Now, I don't know if you can hear any of this, but I do have the volume turned down quite a bit here, so it's not as noisy, but I'm just going to skip that then.
I've been waiting for you. I'm Philip Evan Thomas. It's always been my dream to build a railroad to the Ohio River and beyond. That would help everyone, both the settlers and the natives. And I need your help with that. First
Sounds
of all,
pretty good.
I have two tasks for you in order to build a base from where we can monitor further activities. But as I learned back when I was a bank clerk, the books must always balance. So take care to make a profit, even with these preliminary assignments.
Okay, so I guess we're going to have to go into the task list here, but I'm just going to turn the sound up on the voices just a little bit so I can hear that a little bit better. They don't come up that often, so it's not going to bother. So connect Baltimore and Washington, and then 3 rural businesses to our rail network. Sounds pretty easy, and I hope it is. Let's go ahead. So Baltimore to Washington. That seems to be very, very trivial compared to what we were just doing, but maybe it'll add a few more objectives for us later on. I'm going to rotate this. We're just going to head straight up the coast, and I don't know if we can actually expand this network or this rail station. Okay, good. So we can expand a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put that up to a level 2 and have at least one maintenance building here. And we're going to first construct the tracks between them. I'm going to use the inner track to begin with. And let's just go to the outermost track over here. Let's confirm that. Doesn't look like we can really do much. It is a 4% incline, but we're on the coast, so we can't do too much about that.
Oh, who's this new fish swimming in our pond? Greetings from the beautiful city of Charlotte. What was your name again? Beautiful stranger, wasn't it? Well, that's what you look like. Just let me know if you need help push-starting your trains.
Look at this little engine here, the Grasshopper. So tiny, basically no tractive power, so we're definitely going to want to keep an eye on our incline for the future
Look,
trains.
to be clear, I have nothing against strangers.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends are strangers. But you're not from here, and New York is my city. That's where I do business. I say when the trains roll, where they're going, and why. As long as you don't get in my way, everything will be A-OK between us.
Look at that little guy over there.
I see our two competitors have introduced themselves to you. They have different approaches and so will behave differently. Basically, however, they want to expand their rail networks and make a profit just like you do. So stay on guard and don't let them take advantage of you.
Well, who doesn't want to make a good profit every now and then? So our next task is to connect 3 rural businesses to our current rail network. So we have a choice. We can go down south. We can pick up some sugar, some lumber, this appears to be iron, corn, There's also a city of Norfolk here, which is a level 2, or we can go north. We can pick up some coal, some milk, and some wheat. There's a lot more kind of up north, but the cities are a little bit further away. But the other side is that we can get closer to New York, so I think I'm going to go for option number 2 here and go north. It's a healthy competition. So let's start with this. Let's try to find a large enough train station so we can connect a few of these at the same time. We're probably going to have to get by with 2. I wouldn't mind connecting all 4 at the same time, so I'll start with the first one right here and put some track in between that. We're going to stay all on the same innermost track, or at least the first little bit. Now this time I am going to do something a little bit different. I'm planning on doubling the lines the whole way through, so we're not going to have to worry about sidings too terribly much. It'll also allow us to not see that train blocked message so frequently. So we have this Nolan breeding train, so we're going to set up a quick little locomotive line here between here and then I see we have to go back and then back down to Washington. I realized that this might have been an issue with some of our other routes last game. Here we were going from the source to the first city where it would unload everything, and then back down to the second city where it had nothing to unload, so it would just automatically go back. This way, at least it's going to make a trip into Baltimore, and then refill, and then back down to Washington. And let's add the same little tiny locomotive, and let's get that going. Now, here's where we hire our personnel. It doesn't look like we have any of that available yet. In our research, we are currently accruing at 40 per month. So we don't have anything yet, so it'll be a few months before we can come back in here. But it looks like we have.
About it. Who's interested in what the tabloids say, right?
Looks like we have some options here for better costs for freight and increased profits for mail. So we'll definitely want to come back and pick up a couple of these and make sure all of our trains are running those. 1.4 million. Now if I come over here, I can take the second line and bring it in to grab these cattle and the vegetables, and then I can connect it up to the north here and then have a single bridge to go into New York. So let's try to do that first with a little building construction. We need the large tower, and don't worry, I will be getting the supply towers and maintenance sheds in just a minute. Let's try that. Let's go ahead and put those supply towers in right now. Feels a little bit overkill, but it's better safe than sorry. $48,000. That's not too bad. 10% incline. That's tough. 5%, a little bit better. Let's stick with that.
The bigger a city gets, the greater its demands get too. At some point, the goods from the immediate area will no longer be enough. That's where the railroad comes in handy. Now select Baltimore to take a closer look at the city.
Okay, we'll do that in a second. Let's go ahead and get some of that running first. So, wants us to look at Baltimore's needs.
Baltimore, where the headquarters of our firm is located, has a large clothing industry. The city therefore needs a constant supply of fabrics. In New York, on the other hand, the fashion-conscious customers are waiting for deliveries of ready-tailored goods. Lay a rail line between Baltimore and New York so that the clothing produced in Baltimore can be delivered to New York.
That makes all the sense, doesn't it? You get the goods, you deliver the goods. let's see. Let's bring this down into Baltimore. Yeah, that looks nice. Let's go ahead and construct it. Now we can take a look at our rail lines. Where did those go? That is Thomas Breeding to Nolan Breeding. How do we edit this? Set up rail line, yeah. Indeed. So now we're going to go back from Thomas Breeding all the way up to Baltimore. Baltimore, that's going to let us get some cattle. Now, I don't know if we actually have a meat processing facility in here. We do. So this was going to take in cattle, which is good, turn it into meat. And I said we're going to go to New York City. I think we have to create our own train station here, so I'm just going to create a small train station up in New York. We don't want to lock ourselves in too much. Let's do like this, right on the edge, not too far off the edge.
Hey, be careful.
There we
It's
go.
starting to drive me mad.
There you go. Let's try to bring this track all the way to Nolan Breeding. Okay, and this is where we get to have some fun. We get to remove some of our bridges. We're going to have to do some bridging, so it's just a matter of if we want to spend 100,000, 500,000, or 40,000. 5% incline. Inclines are just going to kill me. It doesn't look like there's really much else we can do, though. 17%, that's 12, 5, 800,000. That's basically all of our money. Can we instead go over this way? Oh no, that's basically the whole amount. Let's start again. Track construction. Track construction from here. Let's start with here. No. And then bring it over. Still that 7% incline. Okay, that works. We can go from New York down through Thomas Breeding, and then we can connect. Okay, let's try. There we go. I'm going to cut through some poor farmer's field. Hope that that doesn't affect his output any. 20%. Okay. Does this look good? I think so. 2, 8, 7. Now we're going to set up a rail line between New York and I think they said Baltimore for the clothing industry. Oh, and I saw this fun thing here we can do. We can edit the min number of cars. So we're going to have this one always send out max number of rail cars. That's good. And then add a locomotive. Now we're going to honestly, because of all the inclines here, we're going to need to research a better train a little bit faster.
Time to time.
Good. So we did get some more tasks. So we have 2 years to connect Baltimore to Pittsburgh, and then we have to start delivering cotton to Pittsburgh and clothing to New York, which is okay. Pittsburgh is up here to the north. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I think this means that we have to have a direct connection, which is okay. we will simply tear off a line right here. Let's do this first. Do just a little quick line, and then from there, let's see what it's going to look like to get up to Pittsburgh. A significant amount of money. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and try to pop down just a quick little train station, just to see how it looks. I want to make this. Nothing matters where we put it. The city just adapts. And let's see what the actual cost is going to be. $1.6 million because there's basically just tunneling through a mountain and building just a ton of stuff. I appreciate the fact that it's trying to do this, but I also need to know that we can get around. There's no getting around this, is there? 1.2 million. It's just not in the budget right now. Ooh, that's a good looking bird. 22%. Okay. Let's just go ahead and take this down for now. We'll come back in a little bit. At least we have something out there. In the meantime, I guess we can start bringing in other resources into Pittsburgh and start helping that grow, because it's only a level 2 city right now. If we go up north, we can grab Buffalo. Maybe we can swoop around and come over here. Yeah, that might be an option. So first things first, I want to connect Pittsburgh to Buffalo because it needs to be done. New small train station, just a little one for now. How about a large train station? No, it needs to. So we can do this one. How about a medium train station? No, medium train station can't connect. It has to be a large one. If we do it kind of like this on the way, then Pittsburgh can swoop in, go through the station, and then up around back to Buffalo. Let's try that. Good. And let's connect a couple lines. I'm going to go to the innermost line and then figure out how to make that a little bit nicer. Okay. That's not too bad. $60,000. Can afford it. And we'll just get ahead popping up a little small train station into Buffalo. The city of Buffalo is refusing permission to build a station, as you haven't connected the station in Pittsburgh with your hometown yet. Ah! I see. So it is having this. Okay, so do we want to take the scenic route and kind of go along the valley and then come back up? What can we do? First, let's put a train between there. We'll confirm that. Toss a little locomotive on there. While we're here, let's take a look at some research. Looks like we have some unlocks. We're definitely going to need to get a better train, but that comes in quite a few tacks. So we can start with a covered cab. That's going to give us extra mail profits. And then covered freight car. Okay, so a few more months so we can get that. Oh, look how slow these little trains go. Oh, I can also increase the speed. I think it'd be so fun to be building these trains in real life. But probably a lot of work for that. Good. Sure. $20,000 for a new tech.
you enjoying yourself? Don't invade my space.
Awesome. We got our new tech. Leaf spring suspension. Oh, good. It's going to improve the passengers. Now, what's our money situation? How do I find this out? Company. Excellent. We're gaining. Is there not a way to tell? Tell what our profit is? I guess not. Can always take out bonds and loans, I guess, so won't be an issue. Okay, fine. Let's try to figure out a way to connect Pittsburgh and the rest of our networks. We're going to start in Boston. Or Washington, I guess. $3 million this time. Ooh, that's a bit more than I was hoping for, wasn't it? Okay. I definitely don't want to do that. $1.4, 2.9, 2.6, too much. I know that's better, but okay. We will come back. We will come back. Let's focus on what we have over here. So we have some Nolan breeding and the milk. And what train lines do we have out of here? Train list, we have Baltimore to Washington. That's good. We have New York to Baltimore. That's good. We have Nolan breeding to Washington. And this one also includes the Baltimore. Yeah. Robinson clearing to Pittsburgh. Oh, nice. That is making us quite a bit of change.
If you transport the clothing from Baltimore with your rail line, you will be making a considerable contribution to the growth of the industry. Everyone profits from that.
Yes, I think I am doing that. Am I not?
Excellent.
Oh, okay. So it was just waiting
You
for
can
that.
hire train crews in the staff dialogue window. Then you'll need to view the train details of the selected train to assign the staff to it.
Finally, we get to do this.
Now,
So,
open the train details of your most important train and assign an engineer and a stoker to it.
okay, so we're going to hire the stoker. It's the only one we have. And an engineer. I don't know, do I want to get a timid one?
You
Or
really should
a
pay
dominant
more
one?
attention to the maintenance of your locomotives.
One of your engineers spilled the beans, and now I have new technology.
You don't have first call on cities, farms, or mines. Of course, your transport income will fall if your competitors connect these to their rail networks. Tracks, locomotives, buildings, and cash all increase the value of your company. And the higher this is, the higher the price of your company stocks.
Sounds good. So Nolan breeding to Washington is losing money. Oh,
Just
that's
as
better.
other companies buy stocks from you, you are able
Yes.
to buy some from them. If you do that, you will profit from the success of your competitors. You should buy stocks via the company dialogue window now.
Trying. Oh, competitors. There it is. So we can buy some shares. Obviously. Why do I not own any shares in my own company? I'm going to go ahead and buy 5%
Go
of
on,
hers.
grab it. This increases the price of my fast trains.
And 5%
You
of her.
can't go wrong investing in my company.
There we go. That's good. I have a lot more miles, and I am worth a lot more than both of those. And now I own 5% of their company, which is just going to help my bottom line.
This should stay just between us, as it's, well, not entirely legal. But we need to keep all of our options open. A saboteur has applied for a job with you. If you send him to one of your competitors, he will make trouble for them. This can also cause their stock price to fall.
I don't want to do that right now. We will
You
do that
don't
later.
have to deploy saboteurs to do better than your competitors. You could deal with them in a more classy and legal way.
Let's head
Take a
down to
look
Norfolk.
at which routes are more lucrative and will ensure you become the most important transporter there.
Oh my goodness, is it actually having me connect Pittsburgh to the rest of the network before I can do anything? Oh, fine then. Let's try this.
By the way, your competitor, Don Lorenzo, is a bit of a gang boss. You can imagine that he has good connections to bandits and saboteurs, so it's much easier for him to deploy such characters.
Oh yeah. I just don't have enough money now, do I? It seems like it was an error on my part. Not that I can delete it either. Okay, we'll come back. Apparently we're not allowed to build in cities. I wonder if that means that we're not allowed to build in the rural areas. Let's give one a shot. Let's do a little train station. I think we want some lumber. Let's just double check. Who wants lumber? Honestly, like everybody's gonna want some amount of lumber. New York has a lot, so Washington needs a fair bit. Pittsburgh.
Well done. You
Pittsburgh.
now possess your first block of shares in a competitor. Excellent. You have defeated a competitor and taken over all their routes and buildings.
Oh, well, that's
You should
interesting.
have learned the most important aspects of your position by now. I'll let you get on with your responsibilities.
Thank you. I do like
Stay
being
alert.
interrupted every 2
I will
seconds.
check on your progress from time to time.
Did I seriously just take over an entire competitor?
Unfortunately, one of your trains didn't make it.
Oh no. What does that mean? Bell? More power? I need something with traction. Tractive power 16%, 21%, 26%. Oh, it's going to take me so long. Alright, let's take a bell. Now, where's this other... down here to the south. All the yellow stuff. Is this mine now? Is it? No. Then what on earth were they talking about that I've just taken stuff over? So that's fine. Oh, 1832. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Still gotta get up there. Let's start picking up this. Okay, so I can do that. That's gonna be not bad. Whoa, look how hilly that area was. Okay, 40,000. Good. Let's go ahead and pay for that. And then let's maybe come over here to the iron and brick. We can probably pick up both of them at the same time. With a medium? Yes.
A station in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
This is a non-starter.
I'm sure it is. That's what everybody thought, wasn't it? Good. 110,000. Not too bad. Go ahead and buy that. And then we're going to want to come across here.
I I hope you don't
and then
mind
cut up
if I go
this.
into competition with your station.
Get a small bonus. In the meantime, let's just put a new train in between Davis and then Pittsburgh. Just a little one. Because I haven't built any of my supply towers again, or maintenance sheds. I am.
Unfortunately, one of your trains didn't make it.
There. That should be a little bit better for that half line. Okay, go to Buffalo. We can't use these people's trains. Are they using the easy method? They are. Oh, that's a bit annoying. Adding a new supply tower. Looks like everybody has. I'll put a little one over here. Another one. Another one right there. That should be good. Don't think we'd need one that close. There. Okay. Good. Let's see if we can't get ourselves out of the red here. Good. So we bring in money again. That's good. We'll try to let that tick up to about 1,000,000. So I'm going to let that happen offline. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.